see the battles. That's what I'm saying.
I don't see that yet.
He
How do you not
doesn't
see the
know.
battles? You see him do dialysis. You see him
It
throwing
doesn't
up.
seem like a battle.
You see him.
I mean, throwing
In
up
pain.
is like an everyday thing now.
So it's normal to you?
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't know who I was before. He doesn't see who I was. Joey, there was a time when I was like a king, man. I'm serious. I would go pick your mom up from work and we'd go meet my friends. You know how many friends I had?
How many?
I don't know, probably about 300 or 400 at a time.
300 or 400.
I mean, we would all meet at a parking lot.
So it was like a gang.
You see all these people here that pull up in like Burger King or something like that, and there's like 5 or 6 cars, maybe 10 at the most, and they're all hanging out.
Yeah.
That was kind of like what I did, but it wasn't just 10 cars, bro. It was like 300 cars. I mean, we would take up the entire parking lot of the mall or of like Big Lots and stuff. And we would all be out in the parking lot. It'd be like a party all the time, man. People would be standing up on their trucks, sitting up on their trucks, laying down on the hoods of their trucks and their cars. They got the systems going, got, all that stuff. We were all in different car clubs. We were sponsored by different restaurants like O'Charlie's and Chili's.
Sponsored.
And
What does that mean?
means that we put their logo on our car. Then we go there and we get like a 50% discount. Yeah, seriously. All of our cars are like race cars. I mean, they have the stickers and stuff all over them.
That's awesome.
People's logos. Remember the Scorpion I had in my car?
Yeah.
I had a giant Scorpion on the hood of my car. I had this dragon on the back window. And the dragon, it was an orange and yellow dragon. And he was smoking a doobie. Okay. And he had this word on it, he said shake and bake.
Shake and bacon.
Yeah, shake and bake. It was funny, but that was the old me, the bad me. I was involved in a lot of bad stuff too. Really bad. But yeah, we used to have tons of friends. I mean, it would get to the point that
I only had 3 friends.
your mama saw it, your aunt saw it, Aunt Cindy. She came with me one time. She had a crush on this guy named TJ.
My aunt?
Your Aunt Cindy.
Aunt
Cindy and Mark.
My sister.
Oh.
She had a crush on this guy named TJ. It was
TJ.
funny. Yeah. It was funny. We was chasing this guy down. We was going down 85. And TJ was in his Honda. I was in a Jeep. And, I couldn't get the Jeep past 90 miles an hour. TJ, I couldn't even see him anymore. He was gone. But there was like probably about 30 of us that was chasing this one guy down. That's how we rolled back then, man. But we wasn't no gang. That's just, we were friends. You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. And then, after we would hang out at the parking lot, we would cruise the town. We had an L loop that we would go. It was 4 miles long.
Wow.
And we would go through the thing, and you'd be seeing your friends way up there, all standing in the back of their trucks, sitting at the red light or whatever. You'd have, people would be crazy, having couches in the back of the trucks. Chairs, yeah, they'd be sitting there just chilling, man. I even had a friend of mine that had a truck. He had these drums in the back of his truck, and he bolted them down to the bed. And he would be sitting at a light, going down the road, playing his drums to the music and stuff.
That's awesome.
We were all crazy. We wouldn't go home. That's the funny thing. And the cops could not stand it. Finally, they had to put a curfew on the city because that's how bad we were. Anyone that was under the age of 21 had to be in the house by 10 o'clock. And that's it. Because it got so bad that the cops couldn't even control us anymore. And we got to know everybody. I was when I first started, I was 16. And I was 16 years old walking into a liquor store buying alcohol. Because the people knew us. So, they knew us. you know, and it was a Legs liquor store, like an ABC liquor store. We were really bad people, you know, and we would chase people down, beat the crap out of them, you know. I was real mean, I was a beast.
See. You're mean. It's not just mama.
No, I ain't nothing like I used to. Nothing. You looked at me wrong, I was on you, dude. I didn't see. I wasn't one of those people that go up to you see these two people talking, jump to each other, and they're all up in each other's face. Why are you gonna do that? You know what's gonna happen next. Why do you need to get something out? Just beat his tail. I would say the other word. That's what I used to be, but I'm not gonna cuss. But I wouldn't talk. They would say something to me. I would, whatever I was doing, I would lay it down, walk over there, handle my business, come back and pick up what I was left off. That's how I was. And I made an average of $5,000 a week.
What job?
I had 2 jobs. One was an illegal job, and the other one was a cover job.
Illegal?
Illegal.
Illegal job.
Oh, illegal job.
In other words, if I got caught, I would have probably went to jail, and then I would probably went to prison.
I probably went to jail the rest of his life. See, Jesus was with us even back then. I would have never met. I would have never met Daddy.
In a wrong crowd.
If and you guys would have never been born if you would have gone to prison.
There's always a way for me to be born, I believe. Even if y'all didn't meet.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't have been born. Your spirit might have been born, but you, as in your body.
Well, yeah.
Because you look like Mama.
No, I
You look like
don't.
me.
And Daddy together.
I look like Daddy.
And, well,
You look like Dama.
he looks
I
like
look like Dama.
he looks like Gramps.
I look like Gramps.
Yeah. When he was a teenager.
I don't look like when I was a teenager? What?
When Gramps was a teenager.
Oh, when Gramps was a teenager.
I had this car, man. I had put this glass pack on this car, and you gotta understand, back in the hard days, they didn't have the cars like they have now. You know, I mean, they had the cars, but they didn't really look as good as the cars they have now. They look better, actually, after we souped them up. But I had put this glass pack on the car. Right?
What's that?
Glass pack makes it really loud.
Oh.
And it makes it, you know, sound like a race car, or no, like a Ninja or a motorcycle or something, but loud. And you get that thing really hot, man. Get that glass pack super hot. And you pull it to a car wash, throw some quarters in the thing, and get just water. Put the hose inside the glass pack, which is the muffler, okay? And just squirt water in it, and you bust it, you shatter it. Okay? Then it gets super loud, really loud. And my car sounded like a pissed off bumblebee. That's what people used to call it, a pissed off bumblebee. It was white. I had tinted windows. I had neons underneath and inside and stuff. I had a system, little big speakers. You know, but Mama could not stand my car because it was so loud and she was afraid of what somebody looking at her. It was loud, man. It was probably as loud as a straight pipe. A straight pipe is where they just run a straight pipe directly from the manifold right out the back. And it's super loud. It sounds like a NASCAR or something. But then I got sick. I got diagnosed with PKD. I started having serious issues with like heart problems, heart flutters and stuff. And
Was that when you met God?
no, I met God at 11 years old.
Well, I mean,
I got saved at 11 years old, but I tried to run from him, living a bad life. It was weird because from 11 years old all the way till now, he's been trying to guide me, telling me what to do and what not to do. That voice has been there since I was 11 years old. And I still remember the day I got saved.
Once I was 11 years old, my daddy told me. No.
That was good.
But I know what people are capable of doing. That's why I don't really like being around people. I like people, I just don't like what they do. because then it's really, that life that I lived was very, very satisfying. It was very, sometimes, some days I wake up and I crave the old days. I crave the days. So I kind of don't want to be around people because it might make it harder for me. Because I want to go back to those days. I had so much fun. I could have pretty much anything I wanted. Anything. I could go walk into the mall, buy anything I wanted. Walk into Walmart, buy anything I wanted. Because I had that kind of money. And see, I wouldn't like, you see some of these other people that make a lot of money and they're driving around these real fancy cars, the BMW and Lexus and all that. When you was in my kind of business, you couldn't do that. Because that puts you on the map. Cops are looking at you, especially when you're young like I am, 18, or like I was. How's an 18-year-old going to be driving around in a BMW or a Lexus unless his mom and dad not small?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something going on. This guy's doing something, he's making money in on his. And so I started saving my money. I mean, I'd buy anything I wanted for my car. I helped other people put systems in their car. I would save my money. I worked another job as kind of like a side job, as a cover up, really. How are you getting your money, son? Well, I work for you. When you know, I get checks, I just save my money. Then I met your mom. I spent it all on her. She was loaded with like a bunch of bills and credit card bills and.
So where did it all go now?
Well, I paid all her bills off. She had like rooms to go stuff, and she had credit cards and phone bills and stuff. I dropped like $2,000 on her just like one day. Paid all her bills.
$2,000.
And then we never ate out.
You really are a girly girl.
We went and she bought a bunch of clothes. I got her out of Jordache and Walmart clothes and got her in Tommy Hilfiger and stuff like that and decked her out. And she even had Tommy Hilfiger shoes.
What's that?
Tommy Hilfiger is like, it's a name brand.
He doesn't know what name brands are because we can afford name
I
brands.
know what name brands are.
Well, like I wear Nautica. I only wear Nautica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Nautica. But
We have Walmart clothes
had her all
because
kinds of
they're cheaper.
Yeah, that's our name brand. Walmart.
That's our brand.
Bought her a bunch of this junk. She don't have anything now. She probably don't even remember half the stuff I bought her. We'd go out to eat all the time, go to the movies all the time. I mean, I just stopped working altogether.
Yeah, that was really bad too.
Yeah, she was bad in her way.
In her way. Mine was not that bad.
Let's just say that she didn't live on the edge like I did. But she did live close to the edge.
Close to the edges.
It was a lot harder what I did. It was, but there was times that someone would do something on the road, cut me off or something, or do something, play games with me. That was the wrong thing to do with me. I didn't care if you was with your boys or not. There was time I got jumped by 17 guys. 17. Okay, this is back when Eminem first came out, Slim Shady. And all these white kids were trying to look just like Slim Shady. Okay, they had dyed their hair blonde and slicked it down and everything. They even had games called like Slim Shady Gang or something, or I don't know what the hell they're called. But they would come and try to jump me, man. Because when you get involved with all these people, okay, not all of them are your friends, but your acquaintances with a lot of them because they're friends with some of your friends. But then they get to start running their mouth, and because they ain't got nothing else better to do. Okay, and sometimes they start making up lies and all these things. Okay, I was the type of person, if I had something to say, I would say it to your face.
Yeah.
Because what are you gonna do? You know, you're not gonna do that. When you go up and you confront somebody like that, and you get in their face, all right. Now I'm talking about like face to face, but you stand right in front of them and you say, "Look, I'm not a punk, dude. dude. I'm not a chicken. I'm gonna sit here and tell you I got a problem with you. Now what you gonna do? I'm standing right here. I'm right in front of you. You want to do something? Let's do it. You know. If not, then go about your business. I'll go about mine. You know. But that's how I was. And then you would have these people. These always girls. Always girls. Girls would always be starting the damn drama every time. You find it. You trace it to the root. It was a girl.
It was a girl.
But that was okay because I had a bunch of girlfriends. Not like girlfriends, like girlfriends you date. I'm talking about girlfriends that were like gang members and stuff like that.
Like me and Samantha.
Yeah, like a regular girl that was a friend.
Yeah.
And the girlfriends I had wasn't the kind of girlfriends like you had. Mama met some of them. I had this one girl. Her name was Angel. We called her Angel, but it was being sarcastic
I don't know why.
because she was not an angel.
Uh-uh.
She walked around with a razor blade in her mouth. She would slice you up.
Yeah, she
Would pull that thing out, slice you up. Her boyfriend was the leader of a Mexican gang. His name was the Joker.
The Joker.
And he thought she was crazy. And she was.
Well, she was crazy.
She was.
And I used to hang out with this guy. His name was Scotty. Well, actually, I was hanging out with him, okay, because the guy was gullible. He would take me anywhere I wanted to go and wouldn't charge me gasoline or nothing. Okay, come on. Free ride? Shoot. This was before I had my car. This was when I was like 15, 16 years old. Well, after I got my car, I didn't need him no more. So I threw him to the curb. Well, he started picking up these other clowns and try to stay in our little clique, you know, our 300, 400 people clique, you know, and he just couldn't do it. He wasn't cool enough, you know.
Stupid clicks.
Me?
And
What if I went back in time? Would you take me?
he started running his mouth
No.
about me.
He wouldn't.
Hey,
He was mean.
he started running his mouth about me, right? It was the wrong thing to do. But see, he wasn't on my level. I wasn't gonna mess with him. He was beneath me. So all I had to do was go take care of him. And there was probably about 150 people that chased him down. Okay, in their car, he was running from them, and they cornered him in Kmart parking lot. But he couldn't get out because there was 2 entrances in Kmart parking lot, and they barricaded this one and barricaded that one, and they chased him in. And instead of being smart and getting out and running into Walmart and trying to get help, the guy decides to ride to the back, behind.
Really?
That was stupid. So then our people just go around and block him in. Well, I had gotten a phone call. The girl Angel, she just happened to be there, and she said, "You're not going to believe what's going on here." And I said, "You get him?" They said, "Well, we haven't quite got him yet. He's in front of us. We got him in custody, but we can't do nothing yet because we come up on a problem." I said, "Well, what's the problem?" "He's got your cousin with him."
Ooh.
I'm like, man, I told her to stay away from this clown. And so they gently removed her away from the situation. Angel walked over there and said, "Honey, you don't want to be here. You come over here with me." They wouldn't touch her. She could do anything she wanted to do in that town, and they knew her as my cousin, and she could get away from anything. Anyone that was my family could get away with anything. And they nearly killed him.
Who was your cousin?
Kristen, you remember her?
Christian?
Kristen.
Kristen?
You can call her and ask her. She's in church now. She's a big Christian now. She's a teacher.
Kristen.
Kristen.
You don't remember her?
You remember Angel, her daughter Angel, and her son Lucas?
Yeah.
Her.
Oh.
She was the one with Scotty. And she and they messed him up bad. And to finish it off, Angel went over there and sliced up his face. His face looked like hamburger meat after she got done with him. And then they left him there. They drove away. Cops got there, but you know what? He never did tell them who did it because he was afraid. If he would have ratted out who did it, then he would have just been a ghost. He would have been a memory. They would have took him out. And I met your mama, she was different than all the other girls. I don't know what it was. I really don't know what it was. But when I saw her, before I ever even met her, she was out there pumping gas at the gas station. And I watched her pumping gas. I watched her pumping gas. And I watched her walk all the way into the gas station. I was checking people out, selling lottery tickets, whatever the hell they buying beer, whatever. And I was like, man, I hope she comes to my line. Because there was two of us. And she just happened to come over to my line. She stood in the other line first, but it was a lot longer. So I started getting my people out really quick. So my line would start dying down, so she would come over. So she came over, and then when she came over, she just happened to ask me, "Are you guys hiring?" And I said, "Yeah." We weren't hiring. We had all the people we needed, but I couldn't say no. So I said, "Yeah." Gave her an application. I said, "Fill it out right now." She filled it out right now. I was the assistant manager there, and she left. I watched her the whole time, and then she left. She didn't even live in Gainesville. She lived in Dawsonville. And she couldn't find a job in Dawsonville, so she decided to come 45 minutes away from home, all the way in Gainesville to try to find a job. So I guess you could say this was meant to be. God knew, and I told my boss, I said, "You got to do me a favor." I said, "You owe me a favor." She said, "Yeah, I do. What's your favor?" I said, "The girl that filled out this application, hire her." I said, "Don't even call references or anything. Give her the job. Let her start." So before she ever even got home, I called her up and said, "Well, you got the job. You start next Monday." So she came up, and she worked there for about 2 weeks. And it was funny because I was cool back then, man. I had like all shaved right here, and I had highlights in my hair, and I had my hair like wavy, like up and stuff. Looked like fire, but it wasn't color of fire. I would wear these silk Hawaiian shirts and stuff that was like open, and I just looked pretty cool. I was comfortable and stuff. And it was funny because I didn't tell anybody that I had a crush on her, that I liked her. But I was trying to get to know her, to look at her, because I could have any girl I wanted that was around. I was a king out in that city. But she wasn't from Gainesville. And she wasn't the kind of person, she wasn't in the kind of things that I was in. She would have never even heard of me. And, but it was funny because she wasn't doing what I was doing. When I wasn't there, she was talking to all the other girls that worked there. "Ooh, Todd was so kind." And just so happened, one of my best friend's mama worked there. Her name was Susan. And me and her were good friends. She's known me ever since I was 11 years old. Okay? And she said, "Man, I don't know what you did to that new girl." And we had two new girls. We had a girl named Celine, and we had Christina. And Celine was hot too. She had a butt on her, man. So I was looking at Christina, and I was looking at Celine too. But I was looking at Christina, at your mama, as like I really liked it. Like I really liked her. There was something about her that I just really liked, and it wasn't sexual. It was weird. I never felt that way towards a girl. But Celine, I was just like, I like her just to get with her for one night and throw it with her. That's how I liked her. That's the kind of person I was. I didn't want girlfriends back then, because girlfriends just drag you down. And the kind of stuff that I was doing. And so Susan told me all this stuff, and I started laughing. So I started using it. I started using it, and I would start telling Carol, which was the store manager, to schedule me and Christina together. So she started scheduling us together, and I started sending Christina off doing errands for me. She ain't never done that before. Getting paid for it too. Getting in her car and drive around, do things. I would send her down a Subway, get me some lunch and stuff like that. And she would just stay up there and run the register, and I would do all my work and all her work. She wouldn't have to do jack crap. Her job was easy. Super easy. I made it super easy. And then finally I got her to go out with me one night. And it was so funny because your mama did not know how to kiss.
I was so nervous.
No.
She was so
You
nervous.
didn't know how to kiss?
No?
It'd be like it
Oh,
probably
really?
for her. It'd probably be like someone going out with a movie star for the first time or something. How are you gonna act when you go out with a movie star? This guy's like really big. That's the kind of attitude I had, like the kind of personality I had, because I was so used to getting everything I want, you know. And it was so funny, man. Mine and your mama's first kiss. I don't know what the hell was going through your mama's head, but
What was going on in your head?
it was like I was trying to tongue a earthworm or something. That thing was like, I was like, whoa. Let me lead, you follow. And then I did that. She almost passed out. Yeah, I had some powerful kisses back then. I could just kiss her and have her do whatever anything I wanted to do.
Shut up.
Yeah. And
What?
Did it happen?
then it got to the point where I started going to pick her up all the way in Dawsonville. Okay, and then I would work my shift.
Did her dad like you?
Oh, hell no.
Did her mom like you?
Hell no.
No.
I couldn't stand it. Because the second time I met him, I said, by the way, I knocked up your wife, or your daughter. She's pregnant. On Thanksgiving Day. And they all... and then it was silence across the board.
Yeah.
It was
And I was like, this is awkward. Christina's like, they're giving me these eyes. Maybe we should do it. Yeah. And, but, she got with me, and I stopped doing the stuff that I was doing. I had a lot of money in the bank. I had probably a good 30,000, 40,000. I can't remember.
Oh, why didn't you give something to me?
Well, I would have if it had lasted that long. But you got to understand, we lived like 8 months, like kings and queens, without even working. We lived in the basement of my dad's house.
You lived in a basement?
Yeah.
And we just lived off my money. We didn't work. We drove around everywhere. Went to the mall, went out to eat, went to restaurants.
That's the problem, and y'all didn't work and y'all lost the ball.
Well, I just figured, I'll get back in my business and make money again.
And you didn't get back in your business?
No,
of the
because
sickness.
I got attached to your mom. So she was.
That's
she
a lot,
was-
Mom.
She was worth more.
That was a
than
good
money
thing.
to me.
So,
Because he was in bad stuff.
She was worth a lot more than the bad stuff and money to me. So,
by the way, Mom, look down.
but it was funny because my reputation still exceeded me, because when I ran out of money, I had no choice but to go get a job. So I got my old job back, and then I worked.
Pizza Hut?
No,
Pizza.
at the gas station with Carol again, and I was working there. And it was funny because your mom didn't work. We lived right beside the gas station, so she would come up there and hang out with me most of the night. And she'd come up there and hang out with me most of the night. And I worked right beside a Subway. And your mom was really hot back in those days. She was.
So she's not now?
Well, now she's a mother. She dresses like be a mother and modest and stuff. She wasn't modest back then.
Mm-mm.
She showed a bunch of booty and stuff. And she was and all these guys.
Which is really bad.
And all these guys would always hit on her and stuff, and it was so funny. And she walked over to Subway for us, and these two guys, well, I'd call them girls, but there was these two boys that started hitting on them, and she would get so pissed off that these guys would hit on her. And it was so funny because she was like, my boyfriend works next door. His name's Todd. I told him, you know? And it was like, ooh. And I was like, yeah, that's right.
That's right.
And they left her alone, and she went and got the sub and came back in there. They didn't even know I worked there. And then shortly after, they come walking in, and they was like, "Man, I didn't know that was your girl. I'm sorry." And it was funny because I was like, yeah, that's her. I mean, I was yelling at her too. She's hot. You know? But if you touch, I'll break you. You know? And then we lived nice. And see, once you experience money, once you experience having a lot of money, you know, having everything at your fingertips, having whatever you wanted, it kind of ruins you, because then you kind of always want it. You always want it back, you know, because if you have money,
Yeah, just thinking about it. If I want it now.
if you have money, the more money you have, the more world you can control.
But the money
controls
is
the world.
the root of all evil, and it ends up controlling you.
Yeah.
And
That's what Jesus says. Money's the root of all evil.
but then your mama got into a bunch of bad stuff.
Stupid.
But then your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got involved in a bunch of bad stuff. We split up for about 3 days. We actually broke up,
Mm-hmm.
and if it wasn't for Gramps, we wouldn't have got back together.
Gramps?
Yeah.
What?
Because I was the type of person, I was the real article. I did not put up a front or anything. I showed you 100% of me. I did 100%. I gave 100%. And if it wasn't good enough for you, then you turned around and did something against me, or
You did something against him?
then
What did you do?
I drop you like a bad habit.
What did you do?
I can't say it right now. I'll tell you when you get older.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah. That was really dumb.
Your mom was involved in a murder case and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, she was bad.
That's awesome.
That's not
But
awesome.
come where she to
Joseph.
see where she is now and know where she came from
Yeah.
would blow your mind.
Something wrong with my mom.
Yeah, let's just say there was a lot of drugs involved. There was a lot of death involved. a
So
lot of
Gramps, what
murders.
did Gramps do to?
He told me. Well, she called me 3 days after we split up. I'm not going to tell you why we split up, but after we split up, she realized what she had done, and she realized the mistakes she had made, and she called me up and I said, "Look, I'm the real article. What you see, what you get. I give you one shot, one chance. You blew it. Move on. I'm moving on. I don't give second chances. Why is the point to give a second chance? There's no point to me back then to give second chances. There is now.
So what did Gramps?
Well, she called him and talked to him and was just crying and thought she was going to die, commit suicide and everything. I mean, literally, she was like super depressed. She was going to commit suicide. And Dad brought me up there and said, you need to really give her a chance. She did make a mistake. She screwed up. And I...
Did Gramps like her?
Yes and no. At the time, he liked her, but he didn't like her.
Didn't like her like how?
He liked her, but he didn't like her mouth. He didn't like her attitude.
Mom had an attitude? Oh yeah, I get that a lot.
And
I know that part.
and see, I didn't date fake people. I did not date fake people. And to me, if you're gonna do that, to me that makes you fake. That's what it was. But then I realized it wasn't her. It was other things making her do it. So it wasn't her. The girlfriend I had before, no, 2 girlfriends I had before that, she was super fake, man. I dropped her like a bad habit. I said, get the hell out of my life. I don't want to see you again. But,
Did you end up seeing her?
yeah. Somehow she ended up in the family.
Who's that?
Uncle Donnie's started dating her and had kids by her. And I told him to stay away from her. She was a hoe.
I don't know.
But
Wait, how in the
but
world?
we talked about it. She came over to the house and we talked about it. I told her, I said, look, I told you the truth. I would never do anything to hurt you. I wouldn't. I'm not gonna tell you one thing and do something else. I was big then, just as I am now. You give someone your word, you mean everything you say because your word's all you got. If you give someone your word and then you break it, then what does that make you as a man? It doesn't. It makes you really crappy. So if I told someone I was gonna do something, I did it. I would go through hell and high water, but I would get it done. I would do it. And I just ask for the same respect for me. If I'm going to give that to you, you need to be the same way to me. I was big in believing in treat people the way you want to be treated. So that's how I wanted to be treated.
So you wanted to be treated like a person being beaten down to death?
Ooh, he got you there.
No, that was a whole different issue. They deserved that.
No, they didn't.
They deserved it.
No, they
Back
didn't.
then, to me, now they don't. Now looking at it from now, no, they didn't deserve it. back then, who I was, they deserved more. But I didn't do it. I was wrong in what I did, but I was a kid. I had an immature mind. I had a lot of power. I could lift up trucks and cars.
Plus, he didn't.
And vans. Like Malachi's.
Plus, he didn't have anybody teaching him right from wrong, like you are getting taught right from wrong. Then he didn't have anybody showing him.
Did. He
Well,
taught
he
him
didn't-
right from wrong.
He didn't live.
Well, at least at that one.
Here's the thing: when you talk something, you gotta
live it.
You gotta walk it. You gotta live it. A lot of people
Just
you're gonna
talk
find
it.
down
Like
the
the
line,
Bible?
they talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk.
Like, okay, your Bible's
Like
out right
the
now.
Bible.
Nobody in our house ever had their Bible out reading it, ever. They mentioned Jesus every now and then, maybe on Sunday. But we didn't.
You mean in your
Live
house
it.
when you were a kid, right?
Yeah, and him too. He, every now and then. Like, they went on Sundays. And that's
I
why.
didn't know what a Bible was until I turned 10.
So,
Really?
yeah. But you read your Bible every day. That's normal for you.
What do you think they were using in the church?
I didn't know what the hell they were using. I just thought it was like school. They were going through different books. Today we're going to learn about this. Tomorrow we're going to learn about that. And half the time I didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
I'd fall asleep in church, man. Church was a drag back in them days.
Still is. What are you talking about?
What?
But
Just kidding. Just kidding.
man, if you think church is a drag now, you'd have died back in my day.
Mhm.
No.
The only
ones-
interesting
Do you
thing
remember
about
going
church,
to Peepaw's church?
Yeah, I hated those. and Papa's. They would just sit there.
the only interesting part about church is you had to wait about 40 minutes until the preacher really got involved, because then you'd get up and you wouldn't be listening to anything he's saying, because he would get up there and start talking, but by the middle of the sermon, the guy's face was as red as that Dixie cup. He's spitting and everything else. He's hollering, hooting, knocking things down, kicking stuff and everything else. He's acting like an idiot. And you're just sitting there, you're like,
What's going on?
yeah. And you're just like, me and Lee would be making bets. I bet you in about 5 minutes this guy's going to drop a dang heart attack. And I think he's going to have a stroke. I mean, we would be sitting here making bets. When is this guy going to fall out? Because there'd be times he'd be like, because he'd be towing at it so bad. He would have to hold on to the thing to keep falling over. And these people were enjoying this stuff, man. I think they was just going up there to just watch this guy act a fool rather than listen to the words. Are we going to go at? Are we going to watch Preach Act for today? Yeah, I think I know that's better than you know, I mean, I really think that's what they did, because it caught my attention. I would be playing my toys and stuff, or drawing pictures or something, until he started doing that, and I'd lay down and just watch him, be like, this guy's about to fall out, man. I know he is. He never did though, man.
Never did.
But he would be spitting. I mean, sometimes if you see a loogie, like,
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was
Would it
crazy.
fall in somebody's face in the crowd?
There was never anybody sitting in the first three pews. I'm serious. And half of the people was his family. I was in a small church. They even learned not to go up front because you get spit on.
You will get spit on.
And the way he would say his S's, that's what he would do, man. And he would be slamming his thing, and he would always have the after a word. And you're going to go to hell. But he would be screaming. But yeah. But then I got sick, and I couldn't really do much. And I started slowing down.
And then Mama left.
Over a process of 6 years it took me after I got diagnosed to actually hit rock bottom. To be completely...
I thought rock bottom was good.
No, rock bottom is when
Well-
you can't go any further.
That's when Jesus can grab you.
And my kidneys completely died. And I had to get strapped to that machine. And every single day, there's never a good day when it comes to the pain. Imagine your body, not your muscles, not your skin,
Not your
the-
bones.
not the meat, but the bones. Your entire skeleton, from your skull all the way down to your feet,
Toes.
your phalanges, your feet. Okay, imagine just an ache constantly. You ever had a toothache?
I'm having a heat right now.
Toothache?
Yeah.
Okay, headache, a bad headache, imagine that in your entire bone structure, constantly, never stopping.
So like whenever you.
Some days it gets worse.
So
Fine.
like whenever you lift some weights and then your muscles start hurting like really bad, is that what it feels like? Almost every day.
Sometimes on a bad day,
A bad day.
but sometimes it's just enough to know that make you know that it's there. You know, just to be annoying, and then some days it's very painful. You know, but the good days I have is there's more than just that feeling. There's other feelings where you feel like you've just been sucked by a vampire. You just suck all your blood out, and you're real weak. You're real dizzy. You know, real tired and sleepy. You have no energy, none whatsoever. And
How do you feel right now?
I'm just feeling. I don't feel. I'm not having a really bad day, but I'm not having a really
Do you
good
feel
day.
like you could go swimming?
No, not really. I'd rather go to the pool, man. I don't like going to the river or to the bay or anything. I just don't like it because when you get out, you don't feel. You feel nasty.
Yeah.
And with a pool, you know, you still feel that chlorine on you and stuff, or you smell the chlorine. But you don't feel like you do getting out of that, you know. And I don't
The only reason why I like the beach is because of the waves. And there's not many waves where my waist is there. And that's why I always want you to come outside and get out farther and actually catch some waves.
Well, after I get my foot fixed, we'll go out there. We'll go all the way out there. When I go out there swimming, I always go swimming way past the piers because there's a sandbar way out there. So many people are afraid. They're afraid to go past those waves. And they're like, oh, man, it's so deep. Well, if you're afraid, you have no business to be out there in the water in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, and I brought her brother in when he was 16. He went out there with me. And I said, I'm a strong swimmer. And he went out there with me, and he almost didn't make it. He had to hold on to me, and I had to bring him out there. And then we had to sit there for like 30 minutes and let him rest. And then he got about halfway back, and then I had to bring him the rest of the way. I had to save John.
You just saved John.
John went out there, and he gave up. I mean, he couldn't do it. You know? And
What makes you think I could do it then?
because
Uncle John can't do it.
I think you're a pretty good swimmer.
Is Uncle John a good swimmer?
Well, the first time you go out, I'm going to let you bring your boogie board with you. That way you can just hold on your boogie board and just kick. You know? But I'm not afraid of water because I can swim, I can float.
I'm not afraid of water. I'm afraid of what's in the water.
I'm not even afraid of that. As long as you don't have anything shiny.
That's because you're Hulk.
Oh, no. There's, just because I'm strong doesn't mean I'm not, what do they call that?
Afraid.
Invincible.
Invincible.
You've been recording this the whole time. Your phone's actually dying. How long is this? Like a 30-minute video? Oh my gosh.
43 minutes.
How are you gonna? Well, if I die, at least you have something.
Yeah.
But I got sick, so I have to go through a lot of stuff, like not be able to do things with my kids. I would love to take that baseball glove and the baseball bat, go down to the baseball field and just play some ball with you, throw some football with you, go walks, take the dogs for walks with
You
you.
can
wanna
do it
do
for
that
about
right now?
5 minutes.
I
And then
can do
you'd
it
be.
for like 5 minutes, then I'm done, and there's no point in me going out there because no one will do it with you, and then that's just going to bring you down. Because when you actually get involved in doing it, it's really fun. You don't want to stop. No 5 minutes after you stop.
Yeah.
But I can't do things like that. There's things that I can't do that I want to do for Mama. I can't go out and do things in the yard or work on my car. I can't even go out and build stuff like I want. I can't do anything I've ever done before because I just don't have the energy, and it's really depressing. It's really, really hard. I'm in pain all the time. Some days I'm really weak. There's days that I don't even want to get out of the bed. I don't even want to see my family. I don't want to see anybody because I'm having such a bad day. But I have to make myself do it. And people don't understand what I go through because I hide it very well. I don't want these people saying, poor me, poor me. I don't want people saying, poor me, you know, have pity for Todd. I don't want that. I don't want your pity. You know, and I just wish people would understand. But my situation, they can't understand. The only way they can understand is they have to walk in my shoes, and they can't do that.
Yeah.
I think I do a pretty good job though, because there's a lot of people that tell me, "I don't even know you're on dialysis." That makes me feel good.
Yeah.
That means that I'm actually succeeding what I'm trying to do.
There's some people that don't even know what dialysis is.
A lot of people don't know what dialysis is.
Dialysis.
I would like you to record me putting Daddy on dialysis one day so they can see the process from beginning to end.
Joey, go get one of those needles.
One of those. Whoa.
Go get one of my needles.
The syringe needles?
No, the bottom ones, the ones that I stick.
Oh, okay.
Show these people what I do. I get 2 of these. Have you ever seen the movie, the very first Incredible Hulk movie that came out? Before the one that had Abomination in it. No, it was the one with Abomination in it.
Yeah.
Remember whenever he finally agreed to see Mr. Blue, the scientist? And he went up there, and when he got there, he saw that the scientist had cloned his blood, all the samples of his blood that he had sent him. Okay, well, you remember whenever he got on the machine and he had all those hoses on him, and they were going to draw more of his, or they was going to put this stuff in his blood. Well, that's kind of like what dialysis is. And then when he was on there, he started turning into the Hulk, and the girl jumped on his chest, was trying to hold him down and calm him down. That was basically dialysis. What it is my kidneys do not function. Your kidneys clean your blood. They even out your blood and all the different hormones and all the different whatever they call those, the gene, the stuff, the vitamins and all that stuff that's in your blood and all that stuff. What it does, it regulates that, and it takes all the bad stuff out, all the nasty stuff, all the trash, if you smoke, it takes that stuff out. If you, it filters your blood is what it does. Okay, and when your kidneys don't work, when your blood doesn't get filtered, and when it doesn't get filtered, you get sick, septic, poisoned, and then you die within just a week. Or some people can live up to 2 weeks, but without filtering your blood, you can't live longer than 2 weeks. You will die, and it's a very excruciating pain, a very excruciating death.
Was that what happened to Gramps?
No, that's what happened to her uncle though. He couldn't do dialysis because it was so hard, so he gave up.
Who's your uncle?
Uncle Mike. You never met him. What do you do when you're a baby?
Uncle Mike?
Yeah, you never met him.
And dialysis is really hard, because they put like all this saline in you. You know when you go to the hospital and they put those bags up there, and the bags drip, and seems like it takes forever, like 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Sometimes 3 hours. Well, they put that whole bag in me in like a minute and a half. Okay. After I've been on the machine filtering my blood for 4 hours. Okay. And 100 cc's of my blood is out of my body. Okay. At one time. So that's a lot of blood. 100 cc's can probably fill this about 3/4 of the way full.
That?
Yeah, that's a lot of blood. It's like a pint of blood.
Yeah.
Okay. And you have what, like 3 or 4 pints of blood in your body at a time? Mm-hmm. So if you have 4 pints of blood and you lose 1 pint, imagine how you'd feel. And then they replenish it with that salt water, saline water. That's what it is. It's salt water.
Does it make you feel better?
No, sometimes it brings upon cramps because if it's not the same temperature as your body, imagine sometimes if it's really cold, like 70 degrees, let's say your house is like 70 degrees or 72 degrees, and that bag's been hanging there for 2 days, and now it's at room temperature, your blood is a blistering 96 degrees. That bag is 72 degrees or 70 degrees. That's a 20-degree difference. When you push that stuff in your blood, you immediately go into chills, your body starts to, your muscles start to spasm, they go into shock,
Yeah.
start getting cramps, and it hurts. Okay, then the saline starts mixing with the blood, the other 3 pints. Okay, and then it thins out your blood really thin, like makes your blood watery. So your blood's not as thick as it normally is. And then because your kidneys don't filter out the phosphorus and the potassium and all that stuff's still in your body, and you have to watch what you eat and stuff, or else you could die of a heart attack or something, because potassium, too much or too less potassium can kill you, you know. And so, and like a level 0.8 potassium can kill you, 0.3 potassium can kill you. So you got that little window, and you got to stay in there, you know. And I mean, there's just so much to it, you know. And then you see me whenever when I get off of dialysis.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes about 30 minutes to kick in. So this is a needle that gets connected to a bunch of other hoses. Okay, I don't know if you can see this. This is the
Yeah, we
hose.
can see that.
All right. This is the needle that gets stuck in my arm every day. It's the size of a coffee straw. Okay, and I get 2 of these every single time I get stabbed with these. Now, you might say, this ain't that bad. Go ahead. Stick it in your arm and tell me it's not that bad. Look at the size of it. It's not a regular shot.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even, it's even bigger than an IV needle.
Okay.
It leaves, you know, when you get a shot, you can't even see the hole when you get a shot. Let me show you. Look at the hole. You see the hole? That's the kind of hole it leaves.
Here's a regular needle, so you can see the difference.
Yeah, let me show you the difference. You go to the doctor, this is what you get. Right there.
That little
Yeah, hold
thing.
it still.
That's it.
That little thing. This is what I get.
See, now you can see the difference.
Yeah.
Look at that. See?
Mm-hmm.
And I get 2 of those. And they don't just put them in there, squirt, take them out. No, they stay in my arm for about 4 hours. So, 4 hours. Can you imagine having something like that stabbed into your arm and left in your arm for 4 hours? So, it really sucks. It really does. I don't wish this on anybody, because you have to deal with the dialysis, you have to deal with the pain, you have to deal with the weakness, you have to deal with the depression, you have to deal with diabetes, you have to deal with heart problems. Kidneys brings on a ton of stuff. It's like a tidal wave. You know, when you have a tidal wave, you don't just have water, you have everything that it's bringing with it. Cars, buildings, trees, whatever, park benches. Everything's coming at you at that rate. So you don't have to deal with the water, you got to deal with all the debris. Same thing with kidney disease. You don't have to just deal with dead kidneys. You have to deal with all the debris that comes with it. And it comes with a lot. It comes with hair loss. And a lot of stuff. Neuropathy. I got a broken foot. I can't even feel it. I've had it for 2 years. I can't even feel it. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but you want to go out and do things, but you just can't. You want to. You know, it's probably easier for a girl than it is a guy, because a girl don't have the pride issues that a man has. A man has a lot of pride, and he doesn't want people pushing him in wheelchairs and stuff like that. He wants to be independent and be able to take care of himself. He wants to be able to provide for himself and his family. He wants to be the #1 breadwinner. And when you're in this position, you can't rely on yourself now. You have to be dependent on others. And it's really hard, and it's mentally shattering. You know, it really works on you, really works on you mentally. and it's just really rough. You know, I can't really get involved because there's just so much stuff that comes with it. It would take me hours to just tell you, you know, but those are just the basic things, you know. But there's people that die on dialysis because the mixture that they have can affect your heart, that they call the dialysate, and they take acid. I want you to think of this. Think about this. Acid. So you have the same kind of acid you drop on the ground. It goes, psst, you know, acid. Okay, and then they take bicarb, which is some kind of chemical that they have created, and they take the acid and they take this chemical and they combine them together. Okay, and then that's what they use to clean your blood. So when my blood comes through and it hits that acid, then the acid, some of the acid is in the blood and it comes into my body. Now I've got acid running through my veins. So I guess you could say, in a way, I kind of feel like the alien, you know, that fought the predator. He had acid blood.
Yeah.
I've got acid in my blood, so I can cut myself and go, hey. Stop!
No.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But then that would hurt you at the same time.
Maybe that's why I hurt all the time.
Because of acid.
But see, here's the thing. When it gets in my system, I can't get it out. Whatever's left in my system after I get off dialysis, I can't get it out. It stays in my system until I dialyze again, but then it just puts more in it. So, I mean,
Well, as soon as that come out, right?
I don't know. I don't know how to use it. I don't know how to make it or how much it does. So. All right. I need to get something to drink. I need to go to McDonald's or... No, I want to go to Zaxby's and get me one of them strawberry ices.
Strawberry iced tea sounds good.
All right.
You're still recording me. We need to go get that Galaxy S7 so you can go under the water.
That'd be so cool. Love you, babe.